Gene Deal and Suge Knight have joined forces to uncover what they claim are serious crimes committed by Diddy. In a startling statement, Gene Deal alleges that Diddy has secretly acted as an FBI informant for years, providing them with information, while hiding his suspected involvement in Tupac Shakur's murder. The situation has escalated. Gene Deal is now reportedly being targeted for speaking out and was recently assaulted by individuals believed to support Diddy. The tension is rising, and Gene Deal's safety is now at serious risk.
He's going to go to prison, and if he do, it'll be for something very, very small. It wouldn't be nothing what the people think. I don't think he's going to go nowhere long. And at the same time, you got to look at it. The best witness they had is Keefy D. Keefy D been an informant for a very, very long time. And Keefy D is getting ready to go to trial for the murder of Tupac. Keefy D said it. Everybody else know it. And Keefy D said the money came from Puffy to keep Tupac and myself. So if they really wanted Puffy that bad, Keefy D would have cut a deal with them, got on that stand, and broke it down. That'd have been the RICO right there. That'd have been murder for hire right there.
I got a lot of respect for you, Suge. I got so much respect for you, bro, because when this East Coast, West Coast war could have been shut down, Pac was living, Big was living, Eric B, Big D, y'all set up there and y'all was gonna set up a meeting. Everybody who had something to do with it was supposed to show up, and Puff refused to. You didn't, brother. You wanted this shit to be over with. Even though you didn't f with Puff, y'all wasn't dealing with each other no more. I remember when you and Pac was in the car behind the House of Blues. You was in the red Rolls Royce, Pac was in the white. I was in the car when Puff rolled up on you and said, "Yo, Suge, we got any problems down here?" And you said, "Bro, I don't know any problems you got." That was even after Jake was. You said, "Brother, I don't know any problems you."
Suge Knight and Gene Deal are among the few insiders who truly know what happened the night Tupac was killed. Suge was in the car with Tupac during the shooting, while Gene Deal was reportedly with Diddy when the murder was being planned. On September 29, 2023, almost 27 years after Tupac Shakur's death, Dwayne Keefy Davis was officially charged in connection with the drive-by shooting. Now, Keef D has filed documents in a Nevada court, claiming that Diddy was the one who ordered Tupac's murder, allegedly paying Keef to carry it out. According to Keef, Eric Von Zip Martin acted as the go-between, and Diddy wanted not just Tupac, but also Suge Knight.
The Biggie Smalls investigation in the early 2000s. The filing reads, the 3 LAPD and FBI agents were part of a task force to solve the shooting of rapper Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls, legal name Christopher Wallace. The task force, through a sophisticated criminal investigation, obtained sufficient evidence that would prove Mr. Davis was the leader of the Southside Crips and his gang was responsible for over 360 kilos of cocaine and PCP. Mr. Davis provided 3 interviews to obtain immunity from prosecution. Final interview were solely questions regarding the Tupac Shakur shooting, which Mr. Davis was also provided immunity from prosecution. So during a December 2008 interview with investigators, that is when Davis allegedly started to spill the beans about his one-time friend, Sean Combs, who he refers to as Puffy. He claims Sean Puffy Combs solicited Mr. Davis to Suge Knight and Tupac Shakur for $1 million. Eric Zip Martin, an associate of Puffy Combs, provided Mr. Davis with a gun to exact revenge on Tupac Shakur for the beating Mr. Anderson received. Now, Davis reportedly told the investigators that even though the job had been partially completed and Shakur was killed, neither he nor Anderson ever got paid. He later revealed that he believes Combs had paid the go-between Zip Martin, who he claims kept the money for himself. And he said much of the same thing in a 2009 interview a year later, because according to the motion to dismiss, The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, as far back as 2009, was in possession of the same set of facts that the Clark County District Attorney is now alleging makes Mr. Davis responsible for the Tupac Shakur. The Clark County District Attorney's Office has offered no reason as to why it waited another 14 years to prosecute a case against Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis has been irreversibly prejudiced by this unnecessary delay in prosecution of this case, and Mr. Davis's constitutional rights have been violated in an extraordinary manner never before witnessed in the annals of the American criminal justice.
Just days after accusing Diddy of being involved in Tupac's murder, Keefe D was attacked in prison. The timing has raised serious questions. Was it really just a coincidence that he was assaulted right after naming Diddy? Many are starting to believe it wasn't random at all.
Right now, I'm Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. He's charged in the murder of Tupac Shakur. Davis was in court again this morning after a fight with another inmate. Fox 5's Mike Allen walks us through what happened.
Dwayne Davis is answering for a jailhouse brawl. Here's what court records show, along with images from surveillance video released by Las Vegas Justice Court. On December 23rd, Davis was being escorted back into his cell when another inmate, Rockland Hamilton, who's also facing a charge, is standing to the right by a sink in this room. Hamilton walked over to Davis and squared up, looking ready to fight. They started throwing punches and grappling, and the officer escorting Davis called for backup, gave verbal commands too for the inmates to stop fighting, and then hit them with pepper spray. Before backup officers arrived, the two inmates kept grappling and throwing punches and were eventually separated after backup officers got into the room. Both Davis and Hamilton face battery by prisoner.
Suge Knight remains the only direct witness to what truly happened that night, and he has openly stated that Puffy was involved in Tupac's murder. Gene Deal has echoed Suge's claims, fully supporting his account. Even law enforcement was reportedly aware of Puffy's connection, but he was never indicted allegedly because he was feeding information to the feds. Diddy has been acting as an informant for years, and according to many, people in the streets have always known the kind of person he really is.
Caught my attention. You said that Suge, he's the only one who knows who killed Tupac. Why you say that?
Suge was there. Suge was there, and even though you in a hostile situation and you've been and guns is firing out, you're going to get that glance and that look at the individuals or the people in the car. Like Keefe D said, I spoke to Suge. We know each other from school. So in that time, as you speaking to somebody, you see who is in the car. You see who's in the car. If somebody got enough time to speak to you or say something to you and have a brief conversation, they got enough time to get a glance of who in that car. Now check this out. If they know each other and the windows is down and they spoke to each other, you don't think Suge don't know who did the shooting or who was in there? He said, I'll never say it. Because to him, he'll be a rat.
Allegedly, Diddy didn't orchestrate the hit on Tupac alone. He reportedly had help from someone inside Death Row Records, a trader who was close enough to Tupac and Suge Knight to track their every move. This insider, a trusted figure within Tupac's circle, is said to have acted as a double agent, quietly feeding key details like when Tupac would be in Las Vegas, what car he'd be in, and who would be with him. This inside information may have played a crucial role in coordinating the deadly attack.
Person who shot Tupac, did you get to see their face? And what's with the person that works for Death Row?
Yeah. What I would say is this. I'm not calling a certain person Judas, where his names could go with those people are Judas. I know it was more than one person involved in the assassination. And respectfully, I would say that I gave the husband, I gave the wife, and by the way, the black people, I stand on my blackness because I am. So, out of respect to them and their project, you the homie, but you gonna have to wait to see what really happened when they put it out. That's all I can say about that part. You know,
no secret
that he saw, and we was overworked, and that he saw things that just didn't make sense, and that he had to run down on Suge Knight, or would have if Suge Knight would have actually been there.
I was thinking about that. If all of this stuff is true, Suge Knight ain't had nothing on Diddy.
What you mean?
You think so? Or
Suge Knight has always been known as the boogeyman of hip hop. But if all of this stuff is true, Suge ain't had nothing on Diddy.
Oh, you mean as far as the type of person they are?
Being a boogeyman.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like bad.
I didn't.
The FBI truly wanted to. They could have put Diddy behind bars at any time. It's worth noting that Diddy was openly discussing illegal activities on live television. With a federal conviction rate of 98% and over 30 witnesses reportedly testifying against him, the odds were heavily stacked. Yet, Diddy never even took the stand and still managed to avoid all serious charges. Many believe this latest conviction is just for appearances. Diddy knows the system is working in his favor, and he's confident he'll walk away untouched.
How could you not say they don't want to see Trump get life? The FBI is the most powerful people in the world. They're government. They have great prosecution people. This prosecution rate is like 98%. If you was just looking at it, you wouldn't think prosecutors, as great as they are, if they was really trying to get this man off the case. But if I was talking, I'd take some time to get out the way. Because if he's going there and doing more time, he was going to feel he could get to society. He had thought off where he left. If he get no time, the street's going to know the deal's been cut. If you get no time, nobody in the industry stuff quit. It's going to be a bad problem for him because Puffy has to city 24 hours. Jack Puffy can get out of jail and start his own car up and drive around and live life. And without the case, you know he don't fall time. So he has to have it. Without drugs, see, he probably wouldn't be able to have a conversation with nobody. He probably wouldn't be able to look nobody in the eye. He probably wouldn't even be able to back it.
Diddy knows too much every secret, every whisper, every hidden truth in the industry. For years, he and other powerful figures in hip-hop have controlled the narrative from behind the scenes. But now, those same elites reportedly turned on him. That's why he was arrested, not because justice caught up with him, but because he was no longer useful. The only reason Diddy managed to avoid real consequences is because he worked as a criminal informant, and the feds still needed him.
Diddy at a level of being untouchable where he's protected, or is Diddy a target that they'll eventually put all the blame on him and make sure they get away with it free?
I mean, he's definitely gonna be the black motherfucker in the bag. You gotta realize one thing. That boy life is dangerous. His life is and he's just not dangerous with the shit he's doing, but he's in danger. He know too much. One thing you gotta realize is he probably having a conversation right now with the higher ups and everybody else to figure out how it's gonna work himself out. Because he know all the secrets. And if he get to run his mouth, it could be a bad look. I look at it like the most important thing is the industry needs to be built over. You have all these executives because somebody was their father or their grandfather or all these type of stuff. They don't give people the opportunity to grow and learn. I know when I first started in this business, it wasn't a machine. I had to be the machine. I had to figure out how to get my songs on the radio. Because at that time, they was getting 5%, and they got 10%, they were popping champagne bottles. I went from 95% of the songs you hear on the radio with my songs until 97%. So you have to really do all this thing and really do the work.
Gene Deal has been calling out Diddy's lies for years, and now, it seems Diddy has reached his breaking point. He's not willing to risk going to jail again, and it looks like he's determined to silence Gene by any means necessary. Just days ago, Gene was reportedly attacked by Diddy's supporters, and according to some, this is only the beginning. In a recent video, Gene claimed that Diddy had sent men after him and made it clear he wanted him gone. The threat is real, and the situation is escalating fast.
Bro, listen, you're not gonna tell me what to do. You can't come up on me. Bro, listen, if you come up on me, I'm gonna knock you the f*** out. That's not it. You gonna do what I say. That's what I say. Bro, that's what I say. No, bro.
Came to life for y'all that this dude wanted me dead way before I came to YouTube. Because I was having meetings with serious dudes in the streets. And he refused to sit down. So what did he do? He tell his security team. He didn't tell the NYPD officers. He didn't tell the Department of Correction officers. He didn't tell none of the parole officers or anybody he had working for him that was officers. He told street dudes who had did dirt in the street. When y'all see Gene, y'all do him dirty. Y'all beat him up. He ain't tell him to beat me up. What I look like getting beat up? What a grown man look like? Somebody smacking him around and hitting him and all this shit like that. I ain't taking no whooping. I ain't took a whooping since the doctor spanked me on my ass. I ain't took a whooping since my mom and my daddy. When they stopped taking it, I guess I'm got amnesia. I don't know what I really look like or feel like. What do you look like telling somebody to whoop my? He didn't tell him that. He wanted me in the dirt and was trying to rock me to sleep. He knew where I was at.
Gene isn't the type to back down from a fight. And unlike Diddy, he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. He's been speaking out about Diddy's crimes for years, and if intimidation worked, he would have stopped long ago. Gene has made it clear many times that he doesn't care what happens to him as long as he goes out telling the truth. You simply can't silence someone who isn't afraid to face death.
Yo, you got questions to answer. And for who? I said, if you want me to answer questions, do interview. I got a booking number, then you do interview. I answer any of your questions. I ain't got no problem of answering anything that you want to know. All you got to do is pay my fee and I'll be there. He said, well, you ain't gonna tell me how to get the contact. And as soon as he said that, and he came like he was coming close to me, I took it back to 92. Wu-Tang. Protect your neck. And that's all I'm gonna say. I took it back to that. I took it back to 1992 Wu-Tang. Protect your neck. And he know what I'm talking about. Then when I did that, then next thing you know, a girl came, the guards started coming and stuff like that. And he told the guards, yo, watch the camera. He hit me. That's what he said to the guard. So one guard was like this. One guard got in front of me and I moved. He said, yo, Gene. He said, yo, Gene, cause he know me. He said, yo, Gene, you could just knock me down, bro. Just take a couple of days and get up out of here. So I was leaving. So he ran and got his camera, and then somebody called my name. He called my name like that. I turned around and I just said to him, I said, yo, bro, I'm not that dude that you could just run up on. I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say. I'm a grown man. You understand? I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say to, because if you run up on me, I'm going to knock you the F out. And that's how that went, bro. And there's nothing I'm proud of. You understand? But you don't talk to grown men. I don't care what kind of YouTube show you got. I don't care what kind of, you want to go viral, you want to do this and you want to do that. You conduct yourself as a gentleman. You want to call yourself a reporter. You don't see all the reporters who went to school. You don't see all the reporters who got their degrees, who got, you know, who worked up the ladder to become who they are, yelling and screaming and cursing and saying all kind of crazy shit to people. You don't see that. But if that's what you choose to do, you choose to
Roger
do that.
Bonds, Diddy's former bodyguard, has also confirmed that Diddy ordered his security team to go after Gene Deal. According to Bonds, Diddy has been sending men to threaten Gene since 2008. But Gene wasn't just a bodyguard, he was a witness who saw everything. The parties, the abuse, the manipulation. Gene spoke out years before the FBI even began their investigation. He witnessed Diddy's mistreatment of women, intimidation of artists, and the way he wielded power behind closed doors.
Yo, if y'all see Gene telling y'all, man, somebody better punch him in the face. Somebody better do something to him, man. He out here doing this, that, and we're like, all right.
Okay, so when was this? Because was Gene doing interviews at this point?
Yeah, we talking like 2008, 2009. Gene was spreading the word. You know, Gene was always bad mouthing.
Wait, hold on. Black TV started in 2008, 2009. YouTube was really early.
No, he wasn't doing YouTube and stuff. He was going around talking a lot.
Oh,
and we all from Harlem. So he was just talking a lot of shit. And it's a small, Harlem is small.
So what was Gene Deal saying during that time? What did you hear?
He basically was talking about Puff, woman that was going on with him and Kim. Puff being gay, you know, with him and Usher, shit like that. He was talking the same that he's talking now on a major scale, but he was spreading it around Harlem. So it was basically a thing where, yo, if y'all see that, man, I'm telling y'all better hear. He got hands put on him, this, that, and the other.
Diddy operates from the shadows, and even while allegedly sending men after Gene, he's trying to convince the judge that he's changed. According to reports, Diddy plans to enter a rehab center and begin therapy to address his mental health struggles. He claims that his mental health issues are to blame for the behavior that made him such a controversial and troubled figure.